Hello and welcome back to another review of me, Kevin, from Kevin Grant on Whiskey. This week we're back in the little whiskey den that is the spare room in the flat. So this week I've got, I would say it's very different, it's quite unique. I would say it's a whiskey that you won't see a lot of. This is the McDonald's Glencoe 8-year-old. So it's a byproduct from Ben Nevis Distillery. So Ben Nevis Distillery, they are the owners, so Nika being owners, and they've got this McDonald's Glencoe. So Long John McDonald was the man that founded Ben Nevis Distillery in 1825. And I think this is what they've made as a homage to him. Let's go straight to this though and get some facts, because we've got an age statement, but it's a blended malt whiskey. And here's the kicker, 58% ABV. Age statement, high ABV, natural colour, non-chill filtered. So there's lots going on there, absolutely tons going on. The thing was, it's very hard to find a lot of information on it. I've done a little bit of delving in and things like that, and I found that some things that I've seen, it's a blend of just two whiskies. So Ben Nevis and undisclosed Highland, another Highland. So both being Highlands, going to be pretty similar. The other thing that I seen was the age range of the other whiskey that's gone in is between 14 and 19, but the youngest being 8 years old. Ben Nevis being such a kind of quirky distillery for me, a lot of their new make spirit does go to Japan for Nika. Black Nika, 75% of the new make spirit goes to that. So I'm thinking this was made as a test of water here. I do know they had a coffee still installed as well, so potentially could be something going on there. I'm not 100% sure on this one. It was quite hard to find facts and figures on, trying to delve into certain things. So I'm just going to have to kind of go with what I've been able to find. I had this sitting in the glass before I turned the camera and everything on because it's 58% ABV. I just want to give it a little bit of time to breathe. I have had a fair bit out of this. I've actually forgot I had it, to be honest. One of these ones that was sitting there for a while. If we look at the actual label, hopefully that's zoomed in, it's old school, pretty plain Jane. You know, if you've seen it in a shop, you would probably bypass it because it doesn't look, it's not as appealing to the eye, if that makes sense. It's very old school. It's kind of stuck in that 60s vibe labelling. But I've had this for a while. I can't remember exactly when I've had it from. I don't know if there's a date on this to say when it was bottled. I don't think there is. So, but I'm going to say this is 2017, potentially. 2018, something like that. I've got no idea. But I've had it for a while. So what we'll do is we'll get it on the nose, get it on the palate, revisit it. We'll definitely add water to this as well and see what it does. Ben Nevis can be a total hit and a miss for people. Ben Nevis is this huge sulphur funk, absolutely in your face. If you gave this a Ben Nevis, I would say to a newcomer to whiskey, they'll probably go off whiskey for life. I do find it's quite slightly more advanced and you kind of like whiskey and you want to try something different. I wouldn't say go for it straight away, but we'll get into this and this could change our minds, couldn't it? So let's get this on the nose. Let's see what it does. Colour wise, it's nice, sherried, I'd say for sure. So straight away there is that big alcohol hit, but if you break that down and get in behind, it is slightly sherried, it is a little bit briny, there is a sweetness there, a nuttiness, damp, dirty as well. It's weird. It's like you've went into a dessert store and you've picked up this nice strawberry, don't know, tart thing, and you've taken it outside and you've taken a wrong turn, you've ended down an alleyway where all the rubbish bins are and all the garbage goes, and that just hits you. That kind of sour, you know, something's, you're in the wrong place, but that sweetness just keeps you going. It's a really weird analogy, isn't it? But The sweet, you've got the very sweetness at the start, but then you've got that kind of dirty base, which is Ben Nevis for me. Yeah, dirty, wet, dunnage, kind of doughy, like Play-Doh, rubber. Right, let's try this. Slange, everyone. Spicy, straight away. I've got that spice. It smells stronger than it tastes to me. There is that kind of alcohol burn, but it's not making me jolt back. The nuttiness comes through, the kind of dunnagey dries off. So I suspect there's sherry influence to that. Maybe a European sherry, oak cask, sorry. It's quite dry at the end, but spicy, nutty. It's pleasant. Sulphur, there's the sulphur coming through. So I don't know what's happened there, that I've tried it and then I went back to smell it. The sulphur, somehow there's been a connection there from my palate to the nose. I've just got a slight sulphur hit, and that is another indication to me that you have got Ben Nevis on in your glass. And it's a wee bit floral as well, geez. There's so much going on. Right, we'll add some water to this because I'm quite intrigued to see how this goes. I'm going to, hopefully this will work. I want to try and get a close up, and when you add water, show you what it actually does. You just see that all the oils connecting in, the water's just diluting it slightly. Hopefully that worked, it'd be pretty cool. If it didn't, I apologise. So just added a wee splash of water there. Nothing, not too much to it. It is 58%. It smells strong, but it doesn't taste as strong. So adding a wee bit of water. The rubber note is kind of still there, that Play-Doh, but I'm getting a kind of raisin note from it as well. Raisinsy, Play-Doh, sweet, nutty, dunnagey. Maybe a wee bit of kind of gingery to it. Like, yeah. Right, we'll try this in the palate now. A little bit of water in there and see how this goes down. Still spicy, more nutty, more. The raisin kind of comes out more on the palate as well now. The dirtiness is slightly disappeared. It's getting a more sweeter on the palate, dirtier on the nose. So if you can get bypass that smell, your palate, it's a sweeter sort of dram, but it's still packing a punch. It's dry. There's just so much going on with this. And here's a cool thing about it. I was doing a little bit of looking about as well. You can pick this up between £40 and £45. Sometimes I've seen it as sub 40 quid. So £40 for 8 years old, 58% blended malt. If you can get bypass or don't like blends, all this thing, I would challenge anyone really to do a flight of maybe 3 and 3 of single malt and blended malt to try and find the difference. I think it's quite difficult. So if you said, oh, this is a single malt from Ben Nevis, I'd be like, yeah, it totally is. I can totally see that. There's just something slightly different to it. If you're looking for something completely different, off the cuff, you might love it, you might hate it. This is something to go for. This is something to bring out to the table with people, guests coming around. Oh, want to try something a bit different. Slap that down on the table and watch everyone's reaction. I think everyone will pick up something completely different. This isn't an easy whiskey. This is up there, is quite difficult to read, difficult to pick up all these different smells. I think if I went back to this in half an hour's time, I could maybe smell a completely different whiskey. But I love that. This enjoyment of not knowing what's there and the guessing of what flavours they get. The big question I always ask myself in whiskey is, do I like it? And I do like this. Yeah, it's cool to say, oh, I smell this, I smell that, I taste this, I taste that, round the table with your friends, but the first question should always be, do you enjoy it? And that's a good thing in blind tastings. You get something put in front of you, you've got no idea, and the first thing you're doing is going, do I like this or do I not? So treat every bottle as a blind tasting. Try it. You're either going to like it or you're not. But for me, I like this because it's so complex, it's so out there. It's natural colour, cask strength, 58%, 40 quid, sold. Absolutely sold. So I would go out and try and get one of these. I've got a lot left. I think it will be going nearer to the front of the cupboard now. I totally forgot it was there. But hopefully there's still going to be more out there to get. Having a wee scour just there on some of the websites, I did see some, so there's at least still there. But I'm going to go and sit back and enjoy this. I've been golfing again today. This is my tan and my brave colour of shirt. I was out with Ben Marnock again today, one of the whiskey followers. We had a great day talking about whiskey and some more golf. So I'll raise a wee glass to Ben and say thanks again for taking me out for some golf and some good company. I really appreciate it. Slange to you, sir. And to everyone else, I've been Kevin from Kevin Grant on Whiskey. And join me next week. Let's talk whiskey. Slange.